Hello and welcome back to the Cheddar Fox channel. Today I'm going to be trying something very difficult. I'm going to be trying to build a self-driving car in vanilla scrap mechanic. So what exactly does that mean, you may ask? Well, my plan is to have a vehicle that I'll have buttons laid out, something like that, and then an enter button. And I'll click this, say, 3 times, and then this 2 times, and then enter. And what that's going to do, hopefully, is make it so we go 3 forward and then 2 left. Now, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to have to pre-program what turning left means. And my idea is it's going to go through a sequence each time you push the submit button, where it's going to spin around in a whole circle, stopping every 90 degrees to go the amount in the direction we need. So, first things first, let's build a car. There we go, got a really nice car base. Nice and reliable. And kind of good looking, actually. Alright, so with our nice little car, now I need to make a logic system. So first of all, I'll trigger it by that now. And our steering is now on a controller, which we're going to set to fast. We're going to say 30 degrees, sure. So now let's put the switch down. So I want it. So when I press a button, we're gonna need a timer. Gonna need a memory bit. Oh yeah, that works. Shout out to someone me7057 for giving me this cool memory gate design that doesn't flicker. One will be the on, and then the other one will be the off. So let's set a delay of, like, I don't know, 4 seconds. So now we can connect this into there and this into there. So this should be just an OR. If I push the button, we clearly have it set for too high of a duration. Excuse me. Why'd you turn back on? There we go. That fixes our logic issue. Nice. So now this goes into there and there. So theoretically, also this is still set way too long. Let's turn it to like 1. So I turn for 1 second. No, that's too short. 2 seconds. Hey, that's pretty good. I just want my output to be the opposite, so fine, I'll send it through a NOR gate. No, I don't want the output to be opposite, because then it's... do I? I don't know. I feel like I'm overcomplicating this quite a bit, and I almost certainly am. That's the funny thing about making stuff so simple, is you can easily overcomplicate it with overthinking it. Because complication happens both on the hard side of the spectrum, and if you oversimplify things. If you oversimplify things, then it becomes complicated again. Like the mathematical proof that 1 + 1 = 2. It's a few pages. It's something. And so that works for the turn button. Now we're going to make a go straight button. So this one should be even easier. It should just be... no, it's pretty much the same system, but duplicated. Yeah, literally, I think it's literally the same system. Try that again. I'm gonna go this way. I say, I wanna go 1 unit forward. Hey, it's working. It's doing what I want it to. Like, of course, it's kind of a roundabout way to get places, but you know, it works. Yeah. All right. So that system works just fine. Step 1 of self-driving car complete. So I'm going to save this as stop and go car. So now we just need to make some more memory and essentially have a counter which can build up in multiple directions, and then find a way to sequence that all through. So when I push the button, it's going to say, I want to read this one. And if it reads that it should 1, if it's 2, it's going to go 1 forward and then stop, and then 2 forward. And this is the hard part. Where do I start? This is the question. That's the part I don't know. Well, I don't have to start by building on the car. I think let's prototype it on the ground, and then we'll put it on the car once we get working. So we just build them separately and then integrate them all together. Makes sense. So I know I'm getting a timer. Let's start with what I know. So we're getting a timer and a button. When we push the button, it's going to start the timer, and the timer is going to count for 5 seconds, let's say. Within that 5 seconds, it's going to check if one of those is lit up, and if it is, then we're going to drive forward. Okay, so let's say we have a drive forward output and a turn output. So that's going to indicate our outputs. I'm going to paint them green for go and red for yield. Kind of makes sense. There's nothing that really means turn, but anyway. So I'm going to want to send a signal to there, the go forward, and I'm going to want to send a signal to the, no, from whatever direction we programmed into there. So now let's assume the logic bit is turned on. And I hit the go forward, it's going to light up. Yep. And then it's gonna want to stop. Alright, that's good. So that part's kind of mapped out. At the end of every cycle, let's check if there is something on the one it's currently doing. How do I do that? Maybe I need a separate one for each. We'll say we need a separate one for each direction. And we'll say... So if I tell it to go 1 forward and 1 to the right... Oh, but I don't want this to be enabled. Unless... Oh, yeah, that works. Okay, I figured it out. I don't want this to be enabled unless this is finished, which means I need a not for all those. So every cycle, and I want this one to keep looping into itself as long as there is something lit up, which means I'm going to have an or here. And then that goes into an and. There we go. So now, if I press the button, it's going to fill up, and then it's going to loop. And I want to loop as long as this is turned on. As soon as this is turned off, it stops looping. Okay. So I want it, so if there isn't something here, it's going to say turn, right? So any of these can go into the turn box. If I have it set to do this, it's gonna go straight. It's just gonna keep going straight until I set it to turn off. And that's going to turn. No. Okay, so I got this part messed up. Okay, let's get rid of these. Let's separate them because I think they might have a separate function actually. So if I press it, it should just end, right? Yes. And if I have one turned on, then it should loop, right? Yep. Oh, and it said turn. Okay. I don't want to turn unless all of the ones are used up. Because like at the end of each cycle, I want it to do an action. And so the first action I want to do is to check whether or not there's something here. And if there is something there, then I want to go forward. I don't think this is even specifically for turning. This is more so for, yeah, this is more so for keep up doing stuff. Okay, so now we have a system where as long as something's activated, it'll just keep looping. So that's good. And what should the logic be that causes it to turn? I think what I need to do is say you should turn if there's nothing on row 1. No, but then it's just gonna keep turning around and around. Nothing on the last row you worked on. How do I do that though? So if I have them all turned on, I'm gonna want a go straight activated, which means I might have to build that system separate too, just to have it make sense. I must need a way of selecting a direction for the vehicle to be moving. Maybe I do need to use memory right now. Wow, this is just a logic gate mess. Okay. Let's start with one layer in each direction. Simplify things. Otherwise, this is gonna get overwhelming really quickly. Okay, so now we have a logic gate system we can turn on and off for each. That's good, and I'm going to save that. So right now that's activating the drive forward, but I need it to put this into there, which cancels it, right? I'm trying to get a source from the same one. So like this, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we have a system where I can set some directions. And it'll probably do them both, won't it? Yeah, it's gonna turn them both off. How do I make it so it focuses one direction at a time? Oh, I know. I need to make it so if there's something here, it can't cancel this one. So that shouldn't be too hard, theoretically. And then this guy, yeah, there's my mistake. That's what I meant to do. So now, if I do it like this, so now it's gonna first clear this guy. No, it's clearing one at a time. Oh, is the tick just long enough that it's doing all of them? If I just go quick tap. Okay, so it starts with this one like it should. Then this one. Then this one. Okay, okay. Okay, in principle it works now. The selector, directional selector. Now how do I make it so when this one turns off, or when any of these turn off, it turns? No, because that doesn't solve for situations like this where you just need to immediately turn. Oh, I could almost use a separate set of logic gates that it just turns off. Oh, that would work. You see, if I just made the last logic gate row always be the turning one, I almost need a way to filter it to make sure, hey, it only lets through one tick. It should be as simple as going button UU and then saying that's an and. Yeah, just like that, one tick. That was easy. There we go, yeah. That just filtered it right down. So that forces it to be only one tick. Makes the logic a little blinky, but it does the job. I guess I can make it so it can go one in each direction and then turn. So that wouldn't be too hard. When I press the start button, I want to activate every single one of those. Oh, right, I did that backwards. Hold on. Try that. Okay. So now when I hit the start button, it programs it to turn it 4 times. Now, how do I make it so before it can read the turn, it has to read the go forward? Okay, so I've realized I could simplify this side because in real life, all this counting up, I can just have it going into all of them instead of having a separate row for each one, because it's really just doing the exact same thing. We now have a red side, which is for turning, and a green side, which is for going forward. So the idea is I don't want the red message to go through as long as there is a message for green. I guess I could probably get rid of this front row here. No, because I'm going to need it for when I do the same sort of thing over here, but for drive. So we're going to need the canceling ones. And then on the last canceling, we're going to have just like that over here. So in case you're not following, the extra gates at the end of the last cycle are going into each of the gates in every cycle to prevent the cancel button from being activated before that previous one is done. So that way it only allows canceling of one at a time. And so for the red ones, what's going into this? What's going into it is the timer is going into these guys. It's going to the cancel. Yes, it's going to the cancel. So this is going to cancel number 1. This is going to cancel number 2. This is going to cancel number 3. And this is going to cancel number 4. I'm glad the main part's counting down correctly, but it's not postponing its countdown for this guy. Hey, wait a second. Why did you stop? Because the feedback system is coming from... Oh, right. It's only coming from those. It should also be coming from that. So now if I press it, it should just keep going, right? Yeah, until I fix my wiring issue. Yeah, this is getting a little excessive, I think. But, we're getting there. And I'm gonna call it a night. I will continue working on this tomorrow. Because it is already 9:40. New day, new morning, and we're back at it. Oh. That's a problem with this logic. No! My move forward in the right direction is being cancelled on my first turn left. Oh, I know. I just need to feed this into there as well. Maybe. Probably. Did that fix it? I doubt it. Nope. Invert the negative signal since it's being inverted on the other end too. Hey, there we go. Yes, this is exactly what I was wanting. Okay, that was easier than I was expecting, and it's a good thing, because, yeah, that's messy. Now I need to make it so it can't cancel these unless it's finished with all of these, which means when one of you is active, which means one of you is disactive. Actually, I could just go straight from here into there. No, it needs to be a NOR. It doesn't need to be a NOR because it needs to be off. Now that I have that there, if I push this, it'll cancel this guy first. Then this one. Yes! Yeah! Now, if I tell it to go left and right, and then play, it's gonna first turn. Yeah, and it's gonna turn. No, sorry. Wait, what? No, that's not right. No, that is not correct. The funny thing is, it's working for the forward direction. Okay, what's happening differently about the side? Oh, that's it. I didn't connect it also to the white dots. I need to do that. So now it should run 8 cycles, right? Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. Let's go! It works. Okay. It's so complicated. Okay, now I just need to make sure it's outputting correctly. So, let's say if I want to go forward first, is it gonna blink forward? The answer is no. So what do I need to do to make it blink forward when it gets to the end of that? And the go forward also is blinking, well, it's supposed to be blinking turn. Don't mind the rest of the stuff that I just built. I'm considering making more layers, but I'm probably gonna do it later. What is this getting its input from? Oh, I see. So when I don't push a button, it does... All right, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. So it's not lighting up unless I have something activated on further down the lines. And this is able to blink because it's getting an input from here. Yes. Oh, well, that means is I can't have these go straight into the output. They have to go into a... They have to go into a and... Let's think it through. Oh, I guess I could just literally go from the output gate. When the output gate triggers, then I want the output gate to go into a check for green. Oh, with that said, the green signal does seem delayed. So if I put a timer, maybe that's half my issue. Yes. 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 Yeah. No, wait. It didn't do it at all. Maybe I'm delaying the wrong part of the signal. Maybe I need to delay the other signal. So I'm going to want straight and turns 4 times in a row. Straight. Turn. Straight. And turn. And straight. And turn. And straight. And turn. That's it. That's it. I would add more layers to this, but honestly, it's already taken 5 hours to get this far. So I'm going to publish it. And if you guys want to add another layer to the green logic, aka the drive forward logic, so that way you can stack up having multiple, feel free. Of course, you're going to have to essentially copy the check system that prevents it from driving for or doing the turn, except you're gonna have to prevent it from doing the drive forward, and instead just also direct that into a drive forward, which yeah. But yeah, anyway, this thing works now. Kind of wish I made it a little more pretty, but you know what, we'll find a way to make it look nice. I think we need some flatter ground to test this on, so all right, let's go to a different map and we can properly test it out. So forward, then right, go. There we go. And it comes back to straight. That's where I told it to go, forward and right. It did what I wanted to. All right, guys. Well, that'll be the all for today's episode. I'm going to publish this thing on the workshop. And if you guys want to add an extra layer of logic so that way you can cue that it can go multiple or the same direction multiple times in a row, feel free to do so. Anyway, this has been Cheddar Fox, and I'm signing off. God bless.